Have you ever found yourself in a moment of quiet reflection, wondering about a subtle, persistent personal mystery? You bathe with diligence, you choose clean clothes, you meticulously follow the routines of hygiene that have served you for a lifetime. Yet, despite your best efforts, you sometimes sense a faint, unwelcome odor, a ghost in the machine of your daily self-care. It's a disconcerting feeling, one that can plant a seed of self-doubt and quietly chip away at your confidence, making you hesitate before leaning in for a hug or sitting close to a friend. The truth, a reality that affects nearly everyone at some point, is that this issue often has nothing to do with a lack of cleanliness, but rather a lack of awareness. There are hidden territories on our own bodies, anatomical blind spots that 99% of people inadvertently overlook. And these forgotten areas are frequently the true source of odors that can leave us feeling perplexed and distressed. This is not a matter of shame or failure, it is a matter of knowledge. Understanding these overlooked nooks and crannies is the key to unlocking a new level of personal freshness and, more importantly, a profound and unshakable sense of self-assurance. For many older adults who value their dignity and social connections, solving this quiet puzzle can be transformative. It's about more than just hygiene. It's about reclaiming the full, uninhibited joy of interacting with the world, of embracing loved ones, and of moving through each day with the quiet peace of mind that comes from comprehensive self-care. Today, we will embark on a journey of discovery, exploring 6 of these most commonly missed spots. We will delve into the science of why they become problematic, share relatable stories of those who have navigated this challenge, and provide simple, practical steps to ensure you feel impeccably fresh and confident from head to toe every single day. This exploration is an act of empowerment, giving you the tools to care for yourself with a new depth of understanding and pride. The first secret sanctuary, the nape of the neck. Let us begin with a place that is both prominent and strangely invisible, the nape of the neck. This area, where the hairline meets the upper back, is a crossroads of activity. It sits beneath a curtain of hair, is often enclosed by shirt collars, and can be further insulated by scarves or high-necked sweaters. This unique location makes it a prime candidate for becoming what we might call a hygiene blind spot. It's an area we rarely see directly and one that seldom sends us signals of distress, like an itch or irritation. Yet, it quietly becomes a reservoir for a cocktail of substances that can lead to a distinct, musty odor. The science behind this is straightforward yet fascinating. The skin on our neck, like the rest of our body, is covered in sweat glands and sebaceous glands. The sweat glands release perspiration to cool us down, while the sebaceous glands produce sebum, a natural oil that moisturizes the skin and hair. When we are active, or even just in a warm room, sweat accumulates at the nape. This moisture, combined with the natural oils, becomes trapped. Add to this the residue from hair care products, shampoos, conditioners, sprays, and gels that inevitably drifts downward. Finally, dead skin cells, a natural byproduct of our skin's constant renewal, are shed and mix into this concoction. The result is a thin, invisible film, a biofilm, that clings to the skin. Because the nape is often shielded from airflow, this damp, nutrient-rich environment becomes a perfect incubator for bacteria and yeast that naturally live on our skin. As these microorganisms feast on the trapped sweat and oils, they produce volatile organic compounds, which are the chemical culprits behind that telltale sour or musty smell. Consider the story of Walter, an 84-year-old man who took immense pride in his active life. His days were filled with the simple pleasures of morning walks through his neighborhood, tending to his vibrant garden, and chatting with neighbors from his front porch. Walter was meticulous in his habits. He bathed after every walk, changed into crisp, clean clothes, and maintained a well-groomed appearance. Yet, he began to notice a subtle but persistent shift in his social interactions. During conversations, he sensed people taking a small, almost imperceptible step back. He couldn't understand it, and the mystery began to weigh on him. The answer came unexpectedly from his granddaughter. After a warm hug, she gently commented that she'd noticed a faint, stuffy scent. With her kind guidance, Walter realized his daily washing routine completely missed the nape of his neck. Determined to address this, Walter incorporated a simple, new step into his daily regimen. Each morning in the shower, he would take a soft washcloth with warm, soapy water and gently but thoroughly scrub the back of his neck, from hairline to shoulder blades. The most crucial part of this new ritual, he discovered, was the drying. He would carefully pat the entire area dry with a soft towel, ensuring no lingering moisture remained to invite the bacteria back. The transformation was immediate and profound. The puzzling odor vanished completely. More importantly, the invisible barrier he had felt between himself and others dissolved. He felt a renewed wave of confidence as he engaged with his friends and family, the simple joy of close connection restored. Caring for the nape of the neck is not a complicated affair. It requires no expensive products or elaborate procedures. It simply demands a moment of mindful attention. A soft cloth, warm water, a mild pH-balanced soap, and a gentle hand are all that is needed. The act of drying thoroughly is just as vital as the washing itself, as damp skin is an open invitation for the very problem you are trying to solve. Integrating this small, intentional act into your daily habits ensures you are not unknowingly carrying a hidden source of odor that can erode your comfort and peace of mind. That was the first secret, a foundational step toward complete personal freshness. If you find this insight about the nape of the neck useful and plan to incorporate this small but powerful change into your routine, please let us know by commenting with the number 1 below. Your feedback helps us understand what resonates most with you. The second hidden harbor, behind the ears. Moving from the back of the neck, we turn our attention to another deceptively simple area that holds a similar secret, the small, hidden crease of skin behind our ears. Much like the nape, this spot is the epitome of out of sight, out of mind. We wash our face, our hair, our bodies, but how many of us consciously and deliberately clean this tiny patch of real estate? For most, the answer is rarely, if ever. Yet, this overlooked nook plays a surprisingly significant role in producing unwanted odors, particularly as we age. The anatomy of this area is perfectly designed to trap debris. The crease where the earlobe connects to the head is a natural collection point. Throughout the day, it accumulates the same combination of sweat and sebum that we saw on the nape. But here, other factors come into play. Residue from hair products is a major contributor, as is the buildup from anything that rests on or near the ears. This includes the arms of eyeglasses, the earpieces of hearing aids, or the constant pressure of a telephone receiver or earbuds. Each of these can trap moisture and transfer oils and grime to the skin. Over time, this mixture of natural secretions and external residues forms a tacky, unseen film. In this warm, protected environment, bacteria flourish. Specifically, the sebaceous glands behind the ears are quite active, and the oils they produce are a favorite food source for propionibacteria, the same family of bacteria implicated in acne, which are known for producing odorous byproducts. What makes this area particularly challenging is its sensory invisibility. You can run a finger behind your ear and feel nothing out of the ordinary. No stickiness, no grit, no sign of the microscopic drama unfolding there. The buildup is subtle and gradual. Furthermore, as we get older, our sense of smell, or olfaction, can naturally diminish slightly. This means we may be completely unaware of an odor that is noticeable to those standing close to us. You might find yourself in a conversation, noticing that your companion seems to lean away, and you're left with a nagging sense of confusion. The answer, so often, is hiding just inches from your nose. Let's think about Harold, an 83-year-old gentleman who, much like Walter, took great pride in his appearance. He was always neatly dressed, his hair carefully combed, his daily bath a non-negotiable ritual. Despite this, he began to feel a subtle distance in his interactions. During a visit, his sharp-witted granddaughter, with the honesty that only family can provide, gently mentioned a faint, cheesy odor and suggested he pay closer attention to the area behind his ears. Harold, initially surprised, took her advice to heart. The next morning, he made a conscious effort. Using a soft washcloth lathered with warm, soapy water, he carefully cleaned behind each ear, paying special attention to the crease. He then rinsed and meticulously patted the area dry with a towel. The effect was instantaneous. The subtle odor that had been a source of unspoken anxiety was gone. Harold felt a palpable sense of relief and a renewed ease in his social life. He realized that this tiny 2-second adjustment to his routine had restored a level of comfort and confidence he hadn't realized he'd lost. Cleaning behind the ears is a simple act of profound self-care. It demonstrates a respect for oneself and for the comfort of those we share our lives with. It's one of those small details that, once attended to, makes you wonder how you ever overlooked it. Do you have any similar experiences with discovering a simple solution to a nagging problem? Perhaps a piece of advice from a loved one that made all the difference? Don't hesitate to share your story in the comments section. We create a stronger community by learning from one another. The third zone of concern, the folds under the breasts or chest. We now turn to an area of the body that requires both sensitivity and discussion and diligence and care. The warm and closed fold of skin under the breasts, or for men, under the pectoral muscles of the chest. This area, known clinically as the inframammary fold, is frequently overlooked during daily washing, yet it can quietly become a significant source of odor and discomfort. Many older adults maintain impeccable hygiene standards, but despite their efforts, may find themselves grappling with a persistent, musty smell that leaves them feeling self-conscious in social settings or even in the quiet of their own home. The surprising culprit, in many cases, is this hidden, shielded area that most people simply don't think to address specifically. The environment in this fold is a textbook example of what creates ideal conditions for microbial growth. Skin rests against skin, creating friction and warmth. This is an area of high occlusion, meaning it is almost completely shielded from air circulation, especially for those who wear supportive undergarments or layered clothing. Throughout the day, sweat inevitably collects here. As the moisture becomes trapped with no chance to evaporate, the skin can become macerated or softened and broken down. This trapped moisture, combined with natural skin oils, shed skin cells, and microscopic lint from clothing, creates a perfect soupy medium for bacteria and yeast, such as Candida, to thrive. As these organisms multiply, their metabolic byproducts release the familiar sour or musty odor that is so frustrating. In some cases, this can progress to a common skin condition called intertrigo, an inflammation that can cause redness, itching, and discomfort. The insidious nature of this problem lies in the fact that the outer skin may feel perfectly normal. One might not feel any dampness or irritation initially, leading to the false assumption that all is well. The problem develops beneath the surface, in the deepest part of the fold, and it is often the emergence of a noticeable odor or the onset of a rash that finally brings the issue to light. Consider the example of Ellen, an 81-year-old woman who had always prided herself on her elegant appearance. She bathed every morning, selected her outfits with care, and always presented herself with poise. Yet she began to notice that friends seemed to shift uncomfortably during close conversations, or were quick to open a window when she visited. Ellen was baffled and hurt. She knew she was diligent about her hygiene. The mystery was finally solved during a routine checkup when her doctor gently explained that many older adults forget to specifically clean and, crucially, dry the area under the breasts. He suggested she add this simple step to her routine. Ellen embraced the advice. The very next day, she used a soft washcloth and mild, warm, soapy water to thoroughly but gently cleanse the fold. Afterward, she took a clean, soft towel and carefully patted the area completely dry. On warmer days, she found that a light dusting of a non-medicated cornstarch-based body powder helped absorb any trace moisture and maintain dryness throughout the day. The change was nothing short of remarkable. The odor that had been a source of silent worry vanished. Ellen felt an immense sense of relief and a surge of confidence that she hadn't experienced in years. Addressing the inframammary fold takes only a moment, but it makes an enormous difference. A gentle wash removes the sweat and debris that feed odor-causing microbes, and the drying step is paramount. Leaving even a trace of moisture behind effectively resets the stage for the problem to return. Some individuals find that after toweling off, placing a strip of soft, breathable cotton cloth in the fold for a few minutes can help wick away any final dampness. Wearing undergarments made of natural, breathable fabrics like cotton can also significantly improve air circulation. This small act of care is about more than hygiene. It is about feeling comfortable and at ease in your own skin, in any situation. This is such a crucial but often undiscussed area of personal care. If you found this explanation helpful and recognize its importance, please show your support by commenting with the number 3 below. And if this content is providing you with real value, please consider supporting the channel by hitting the like button, subscribing, and turning on the notification bell so you never miss another insightful video. The fourth forgotten crucible, the belly button. Our journey into the body's hidden landscapes now takes us to a small, unassuming feature that most of us have had since birth, the belly button, or umbilicus. It's a tiny hollow, a relic of our entry into the world, and because it rarely causes any trouble, we tend to assume it takes care of itself. We imagine that soap and water from our shower simply wash it out, leaving it clean. The reality, however, is quite different. The belly button, particularly the more common innie shape, is a forgotten crucible that quietly collects a surprising amount of debris, making it an unexpected source of body odor. Think of the belly button as a small, deep pocket. Throughout the day, a miscellany of materials finds its way inside. Sweat trickles down the abdomen and pools there. Sebum, dead skin cells, and microscopic fibers of lint from our clothing all accumulate. If you use body lotion or powders, residue can also settle into this small depression. Because the umbilical hollow is recessed and protected, it receives very little airflow. Moisture that gets trapped inside has a difficult time evaporating. This dark, damp, and nutrient-rich environment is once again a paradise for microorganisms. In fact, scientific research like the Belly Button Biodiversity Project has revealed that the human navel can be home to a staggering diversity of bacteria, sometimes thousands of different species, many of which were previously unknown to science. While most are harmless, when they are left to multiply in this trapped environment, their metabolic processes can produce a distinctly pungent, sour odor. The challenge with the belly button is its sheer inconspicuousness. You might glance at it and see nothing amiss. You might run a finger around the rim and feel no cause for concern. But deep within the hollow, the buildup is silently occurring. And again, with a sense of smell that may be less acute than in our younger years, we can be entirely oblivious to the odor we are carrying, even as it becomes noticeable to those in close proximity. This was the case for George, a 79-year-old who, like the others we've met, was always fastidious about his personal care. He wore well-pressed clothes, bathed daily, and kept himself neat as a pin. Still, he noticed his beloved granddaughter would sometimes wrinkle her nose slightly when she came in for a hug. It was a small, fleeting expression, but it troubled him deeply. During a kind and sensitive chat, his daughter gently suggested he might want to pay special attention to his belly button during his daily wash. The idea had never occurred to him. George immediately added this simple step to his routine. He found the most effective method was to use a cotton swab or the corner of a soft washcloth dipped in warm, soapy water. He gently cleaned the inside of his navel, making sure to reach the bottom of the depression without being abrasive. He then rinsed it carefully and used a dry cotton swab or the corner of a soft towel to ensure it was completely dry. The difference was astonishing. The subtle odor that had been creating an invisible wall between him and his granddaughter was gone. He felt a newfound sense of confidence and an even deeper joy in those precious family hugs. Caring for the belly button takes mere seconds, but offers immense peace of mind. It's about preventing odor before it can even begin. The key is gentleness and thoroughness. For those with a particularly deep navel, a quick check after drying is always a good idea. This small addition to your daily care is a powerful act of self-respect. It helps you move through life with the quiet assurance that you have tended to every detail, allowing you to engage fully and confidently with the people and activities that bring you joy. Have you ever stopped to consider the microbiome of your own belly button? If this insight was a revelation for you, let us know by commenting with the number 4 below. Your interaction is a huge encouragement and helps us create more content that informs and inspires. The fifth overlooked pathway, the spaces between the toes. We now travel down to our very foundation, our feet. Many people believe their feet get sufficiently clean simply by standing in a sudsy puddle during a bath or shower. While the tops and soles might get a passing wash, the narrow, hidden pathways between the toes are almost always missed. This hidden territory quietly collects a potent mix of moisture and organic matter, making it a notorious hotspot for powerful and unpleasant odors, as well as fungal infections like athlete's foot. The environment between our toes is uniquely challenging. These spaces are warm and, for most of the day, are encased in the humid environment of socks and shoes. As we walk, stand, and move, our feet, which have one of the highest concentrations of sweat glands on the body, perspire. This sweat gathers in the crevices between the toes. This moisture is then compounded by tiny fibers of lint from socks, dead skin cells that are constantly shedding, and any dust or microscopic particles that have worked their way into our footwear. This damp, warm, and nutrient-laden mixture creates the perfect breeding ground for both bacteria, like Brevibacterium linens, which contributes to the cheesy smell of certain foods and feet, and fungus, dermatophytes. As these microorganisms proliferate, they produce the sharp, sour, or acrid smell often associated with foot odor, or bromodosis. This spot is easily overlooked because it doesn't always feel overtly dirty or damp, especially right after a shower. We scrub our soles, wash our ankles, but the deliberate act of separating each toe to clean in between is a step most people skip. This oversight can have consequences beyond just odor, leading to itchy, peeling, and uncomfortable skin. Let's share the story of Henry, an 80-year-old who prided himself on neatness. Every morning, without fail, he would bathe, put on a fresh pair of socks, and ensure his shoes were clean and in good repair. Yet, he became acutely aware of a problem when visiting his daughter's home. Upon removing his shoes, as was the custom, a distinct and embarrassing odor would permeate the entryway. He could see the unspoken discomfort on his family's faces, and it filled him with dismay. He couldn't understand the cause until his granddaughter, with youthful directness, gently pointed out that the smell seemed to be coming from between his toes. Henry was determined to fix this. He changed his foot washing technique immediately. In the shower, he began to take a little extra time to consciously separate each toe and wash the spaces between them with a soapy washcloth. The most critical part of his new process was drying. After his shower, he would sit down and use a towel to meticulously dry between every single toe, ensuring no moisture was left behind. On days he knew he would be more active, he made a point of changing into fresh socks midday. The result was a complete turnaround. The odor that had plagued him vanished. Henry felt a profound sense of relief and could once again visit his family and enjoy their company without a shadow of worry. Caring for the space between the toes doesn't require much time, but the rewards are lasting. A dedicated wash and, most importantly, a thorough dry are the keys to success. Allowing your feet to air out for a few moments before putting on socks can also be incredibly beneficial. Furthermore, choosing socks made from moisture-wicking materials like merino wool or certain synthetic blends rather than 100% cotton, which holds moisture, can make a world of difference in keeping feet dry throughout the day. This small, mindful act is another way to demonstrate respect for yourself and to move through your day with confidence and ease. If these insights about foot care have been valuable to you and you're ready to step up your hygiene game, please comment with the number 5 below to let us know you're with us on this journey. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Your support is what allows us to keep creating this helpful content. The 6th area of friction, the inner thighs. Our final point of focus is an area that experiences constant friction and is often overlooked during daily hygiene, the inner thighs. As we move through our day, walking, gardening, shopping, or simply moving about the home, the skin of our inner thighs naturally rubs together. This constant motion, combined with the fact that the area is tucked away and often covered by multiple layers of clothing, creates a warm, moist environment that can become a surprising source of odor. The mechanism here is similar to what we've seen in other areas, but with the added element of friction. The rubbing motion generates heat and stimulates perspiration. This sweat, along with natural skin oils and shed skin cells, gets trapped in the uppermost region of the inner thighs, near the groin. Because this area receives very little air circulation, the moisture has nowhere to go. This warm, damp setting is yet another ideal habitat for bacteria and yeast to flourish, leading to the development of a sour or musty odor that can leave one feeling unsure and self-conscious, even after a thorough bath. The friction can also lead to chafing, which can cause skin irritation and make the area even more susceptible to microbial growth. This spot is especially easy to miss because, like the others, the buildup might not cause any immediate discomfort. You may not feel sticky or irritated at first, but the odor can develop quietly and persistently throughout the day. It's a subtle issue that can have a significant impact on one's sense of personal freshness. Think of Charles, a 78-year-old who had always been careful about his hygiene. He was neat and tidy in his appearance and habits. However, he began to notice that when sitting close to others, whether at a card game with friends or riding in a car, people seemed to subtly shift away or were quick to crack a window. Charles couldn't pinpoint the problem, and it began to erode his social confidence. The insight came from a close and trusted friend who kindly suggested that the area between the thighs can sometimes be a source of odor if not given special attention. From that day forward, Charles made a conscious change. During his daily wash, he made it a point to gently but thoroughly clean his inner thighs with warm, soapy water, paying close attention to the uppermost part of the leg. He was meticulous about rinsing and, most importantly, drying the area completely. On warmer days, or when he anticipated being more active, he found that a light dusting of a non-medicated powder helped keep the skin dry and reduce friction. The change was palpable. The subtle odor disappeared, and with it, Charles's anxiety. He felt a new sense of ease and confidence in all his daily activities and interactions. Giving attention to the inner thighs requires only a small effort, but brings lasting comfort. A gentle wash followed by careful drying is the foundation for preventing odor before it starts. Wearing breathable fabrics like cotton for undergarments and trousers can significantly improve air circulation and reduce moisture buildup. For those who are physically active, changing out of damp workout clothes immediately after exercise is also a crucial step. By making this simple act of care a consistent part of your daily routine, you ensure that you feel fresh, confident, and ready to embrace your day to its fullest. We've now covered all 6 hidden areas. If you've stayed with us and found this final point on the inner thighs to be a helpful piece of the puzzle, please comment with the number 6 below to let us know you've completed the journey with us. Your engagement is incredibly motivating. As we conclude our exploration, I hope you take a moment to reflect on the 6 often forgotten spots we have discussed today. The nape of the neck, behind the ears, the folds under the breast or chest, the belly button, between the toes, and the inner thighs. These small, hidden areas, so easy to miss in our daily routines, collectively make a profound difference in how fresh, clean, and confident we feel. The truth is, most of us have overlooked one or more of these spots at some point in our lives. This is not a cause for embarrassment, but an opportunity for empowerment. With this new knowledge comes the power to make simple, transformative changes. When we take the extra moment to care for these hidden places, we are doing far more than just preventing odor. We are engaging in an act of profound self-respect. True personal care is not about achieving an impossible standard of perfection for the sake of others. It is about feeling good from within. It is about stepping into each new day with the quiet peace of mind that comes from knowing we have cared for ourselves in a thoughtful, complete, and loving way. That deep sense of inner well-being radiates outward. It shows in our posture, in the warmth of our smiles, and in the ease with which we connect with friends, neighbors, and family. It is crucial to remember that these steps do not require fancy gadgets or expensive potions. They simply call for a moment of awareness, a gentle hand, and a commitment to consistency. The reward for this small effort is immense. The freedom to go about your day without worry, to enjoy your passions without distraction, and to embrace others without a hint of hesitation. For many seniors, making these small adjustments brings a feeling of renewal. It's about reclaiming a sense of control and embracing each day with the dignity and confidence you so richly deserve. These small acts of care are a gift you give yourself, and their positive effects ripple outward, strengthening your relationships and creating more moments of shared joy. After all this analysis, what is the most important lesson you've learned for yourself today? Is there one particular aha moment that stands out? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Reading your reflections gives us great encouragement. The journey of self-care is a lifelong practice. Start with these small, powerful steps today. Thank you for joining us. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please show your support by hitting the like button, subscribing to our channel, and sharing it with someone who might benefit. Your support helps us continue to create meaningful content designed to inform and inspire. We look forward to seeing you in the next video.